One day, welcome to Community Headlines Live. It's Monday, August 3rd, and it looks like we are not getting a hurricane, hopefully. So this space is a gathering. It's a live space created at the beginning of the pandemic as a way to gather and talk. So think of it as a virtual water cooler until this pandemic is over. Hosting today's show, Michael Siegel. He's the chair, and Michael with right below. We've got Honor Lynn, the founder of Heart Initiative, joining us, and Catalina Garcia Quick, the Viz team and CIS. We've got Chris Hodges with the Isle of Hope Marina and the Carefree Boat Club, and I'm Marjorie Young. I can officially now say author of the Reputation Matrix. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Morning.
Hey, Chris, what does the weather look like there on Isle of Hope? Can you move?
Right now, it's beautiful.
Wow.
The radar looks pretty bad, so it looks like in about 30, 45 minutes, we'll start getting some of the first bands that kind of come in. But hopefully, it's just a lot of rain and a little bit of wind.
Is that that's the official forecast for today?
Yeah. I mean, as official as I get. So
Awesome.
That's just based on the radar. The AccuWeather forecast that I have shows rain starting in about 40 minutes. It looks like it'll probably start a little before that.
So, Chris, so tell us about the boat you're sitting in.
Oh, so I'm on a club boat. So Isle of Hope Marina started a Carefree Boat Club location, which is just like it sounds. It's a boat club. So we have this is kind of the probably the I guess the flagship of the club is a 24-foot sailfish. The whole idea behind this particular location was to offer better boats than you'd see in a typical boat club and better availability than you'd see in a boat club. This is our location's a little bit unique. Usually, an independent person goes and starts a boat club and negotiates terms with the marina. This particular club is owned by the marina, so Isle of Hope Marina actually started while the marina started the boat club. He just wanted to offer something to local people, an alternative to owning a boat, which has gotten very expensive and a lot of work over the last few years. But and boat renting. So this is kind of a great option for a lot of boaters and a lot of people who maybe haven't grown up on the water or not as familiar with water as a lot of local Savannah people. And so this offers them training. It offers them access to some nice boats that that they don't really have to put all the work and the money in to get on the water. You can get in the water in just a few days.
That's a good sized boat, Chris. I mean, I don't have a license, but I mean, if I joined, do I need to get a license? How does that work?
Yeah, you would take at this point, because of everything going on with the pandemic, a lot of live options are closed. But you can get a license online. There's a few great online courses. Boat US offers a lot of great courses. So most of the members go to Boat US. It's a 4-hour course, so it requires you to take to pass that. And then once you have that test, and it's not really testing your boating ability. It's more just like it's giving you a lot of concepts of boating and just making sure that you're grasping what you're reading. And then we send you out on one of these boats, probably this one, with a licensed guide. I don't know if you are familiar with Garrett Ross, but he's probably one of the busiest inshore fishermen in this area. But he'll take you out for a few hours, kind of make sure that you're familiar with, you're not nervous to go out your first time, and then you just start boating.
Gosh, and I would think that kind of boating is, physically distancing. It's a safe thing to do during COVID. You're away from everybody.
It is. It's about as social distancing as you can get. The boats are disinfected, especially all the hot spots on a boat between trips. this isn't a very busy club. It's brand new, so some of these boats will sit, 72 hours between uses or more. But yeah, we also manage the marina, so the marina is been slammed really since St. Patrick's Day. People are just, all their other options, things that were vying for their time in a typical spring and summer, have all been canceled. So people are just absolutely killing boat usage. So,
can you show us the boat? Can you give us the boat?
Are you asking me if I can show you the boat? Sorry, you're kind of breaking up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this one seats up to 12 people. That's a windlass right up there on the front. So instead of tossing and hauling an anchor like you typically would, you just press a button, feed it out, press a button, feed it in. This boat has seating all around the back. A lot of the stuff's folded up right now, but again, it seats up to about 12 people. This one right here, again, this is kind of the flagship of the club. I don't know if y'all can see that.
Oh my gosh, can you sleep? Oh no, that's a toilet.
It's a toilet. I guess
major necessity.
It's a toilet and sink. These boats are again a little different than what you'd see in a typical club. It's a higher end brand, and it's better equipped than what most clubs would put on a club boat.
Wow.
There's a high end electronics package.
This is Isle of Hope. No, but this is Isle of Hope. That's perfect for this place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The boats we got are great for beating around the river or going out in the sound or even going offshore. You can go up to 25 miles offshore.
How deep is it?
So,
what does it draw? Is it like 2 feet, 3 feet? How deep can the boat go?
Sorry?
How deep or how shallow can it go? Like 2 feet?
Oh, what is the draft of the boat? So the draft of this boat is only 18 inches. We have some smaller boats in the club, but yeah, you could, and this is a big boat. This is a 24-foot boat. But we have a 20-foot boat that's a bay boat, and so it's made to go into much shallower areas. So yeah, you can. Well, one of the great things about the Savannah area is we have the intracoastal, we have a bunch of rivers, but we also have these chutes off in the marsh, these little tidal creeks that you could definitely explore in a club boat.
Gosh, I know Michael lives out at the landings. I mean, you could use the service too, right? Doesn't just have to be Isle of Hope. It could be anybody.
Oh, absolutely. And by the way, Chris, we just love going down the marina down there. You guys do just a great job, and I do a lot of photography, and I love going down Bluff Drive and waving at everybody, and it's always a joy just to see all the activity that's going on down there on the river.
It's magical. It's magical. Gosh, is Charlie there this morning? We're gonna
I don't believe so.
Charlie. Hopefully he's watching.
Yeah, he's been following this hurricane. We've been kind of in I don't want to say panic mode, but kind of in prep mode over the last few days, trying to decide what to do and what this hurricane is going to do. So he's probably been staying up pretty late at night, watching every update. These updates are coming out. So.
Yeah, it's just the beginning. I'm keeping my car permanently packed between now and November. So, and now that my daughter's not in Atlanta, I'm not quite sure where I'm going to go. But, anyway.
We say we're going to sell our RV every year until it gets to be hurricane season, and then it becomes my hurricane escape plan.
Exactly.
Always good to have a good escape plan for sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris, thank you for giving us a tour of the boat, and it's big news down on Isle of Hope what's happening, because I mean, Catalina and we can just walk down.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up.
Oh gosh.
It might be because of the weather. It's getting a little darker back here.
Well, if you need to go, it's okay. It's okay. So
yeah,
well,
I may go up to the office since y'all seen the boat. I may go up to the office and try to get back in on a
okay.
slightly better signal.
Good. Yeah, definitely try that. So
it was great. If I don't see y'all again, it was great meeting all y'all.
Thanks, Chris. So Honor, and Catalina, you guys go back a long time, don't you?
Yes, we do. We used to work at the Savannah Symphony together way back in the day, and we planned all kinds of fun things like picnic in the park and all that. And to give you an idea of how long, my daughter, who just turned 18 this last week, when I worked at the Symphony, I used to bring her to work with me, and we would push 2 chairs together and make it kind of a crib, and she would lay in there while I would work. So yeah, we have a long history.
Huge long history.
Yeah.
And Catalina and I did tons of events together. And the symphony back then was much more than just music, classical music and pops and jazz. As Catalina remembers, we did a lot of education outreach programs that really served inner city needs for like Gadsden Elementary School. We also did a lot of in-school music programs, and we were really trying to introduce arts and culture to inner city youth and development. And we were able to do that a lot with a lot of free community concerts with cultural affairs, city services, and leisure services. We did a lot of grants, a lot of corporate fundraising, a lot of working with small businesses. And Catalina was just brilliant at really connecting to a lot of the small business owners, and utilizing the buy local. So we tried to make a lot of events more communal, community engagement and involvement. So again, we're still doing it 20 something years later.
So tell us about your Heart Initiative with art. It's well, I love to paint on the side, so I'm really super interested in what you're.
I was thrilled to learn that about you, and I didn't know that till Catalina told me. Since I've worked with you guys 20 years ago or more, I've since got a couple of degrees. Yay, Heart Initiative. That's our brand new logo, hot off the press, Heal Through Art. And Kimberly Jones of Jones House is my collaborative partner, and she specializes in website, social media, branding, and I'm a brand strategist, marketing and development. And together we created the Heart Initiative logo, and we are spearheading a lot of, here, I'll show you, I'll give you a sneak peek at the homepage of the website. Kimberly and I are looking at, can you see it?
Yes.
Serving communities with the healing power of art. We got a long way to go, but we just got approved for our nonprofit 501c3, and so we had our first board meeting, and I'll be doing press releases announcing our board members, announcing the Heart Initiative. The Heart Initiative again spawned out of COVID. And as I was working as executive director of Arts ATL at the time, which is basically an online magazine that talks about arts and culture in just Atlanta, I saw a bigger need to serve communities. The elderly communities that were needing engagement, they were needing something to do because they were isolated at home. I started to feel the pressure of parents at home, whether it was homeschooling or what to do with our kids for arts, culture, and entertainment. So there wasn't a lot going on. So out of a reaction to that, we started the Heart Initiative, Heal Through Art, hire artists, provide online services for arts and culture outreach and education, and become a resource center and a hub for that information. So parents, teachers, educators, elderly communities could have a place to go to find out what to do and learn trades and tricks. And so I'm really here today to ask, although I have a lot of artists involved right now, like Anna Lutz, Chris Walker, a local sculpture artist here in Atlanta, has stepped up. We do have Shannon Kelly's dance company. We're going to be providing a lot of tutorials online and a lot of services for people to sign up for classes online. Again, a lot of this is going online because of COVID and the pandemic. So pulling all that together, I still need more artists, more instructors, more volunteers. As you know, with nonprofits, you can never not have enough volunteers to help you with administrative, education, outreach, and to service those instructional needs for the community. And I'm launching in Savannah because it's my hometown.
I
want to give back.
Fantastic. That is just
well,
fantastic.
And Marjorie, I know firsthand. Marjorie has been my youngest daughter. Elena is 10, and she has an expressed interest in art. And Marjorie and Elena have been, even when I don't know, sometimes all of a sudden I'm like, who are you talking to? And she's talking to Marjorie, and Marjorie and Elena FaceTime, and Marjorie's teaching Elena art
Right.
via FaceTime.
And by the way, Maria is also an
Maria's a
artist.
phenomenal artist.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
she does great stuff. Yeah, I'm
So
proud
Maria-
to have one of her little pieces. Yeah.
Yeah, Maria Center was going to be on today. She's with the American Red Cross now, and her home is she's phenomenal. She does a lot of cultural Indian and just all kinds of really cool artwork of all sorts. She's got a painting in her house that's it's like a headdress, and it's some of the most amazing stuff I've ever seen. And she's so low key low about it.
Actually, I was referring to our Maria right here on the call.
Oh, yeah, Maria.
Yeah, she's a wonderful artist.
So yeah, no, all the Marias have the paint skill.
It was so nice. SCORE had this big event called Biz Pitch, and Maria and Michael actually won that. And
Cool.
Yeah, they were one of our 3 winners. We had Core Compost, and they have been doing unbelievable. I can't wait for them to share with you. We also had LB Elm with the Culturist Union, who's been very active in the community, and she's doing great. And we also have Charlene Diamond, who is our 3rd winner, and all 3 are in business, local businesses, and doing great. And we're doing Biz Pitch Savannah 2020 again on November 6th. So we're going to be starting the process of, and we're working on making it a hybrid, I think, virtual thing, because we probably won't have a live audience. But we're trying to work through how we could have the 8 finalists pitch their bit. It's like a Shark Tank thing, and be able to pitch to the judges in a live setting, because it's different. You gotta do it on the stage in front of the judges, with the judges able to ask you questions. So we're figuring out a safe way to do that. But
you could use
yeah,
this platform.
what's that?
You could use this platform with StreamYard, and in honor. Since you're a new business, you would qualify to maybe get, is it $5,000 they win? Or how much?
Well, last year, all of our winners won over $11,000 in cash and free professional services.
Wow.
Now, yeah, it was $3,000 in cash, and then $8,000 in services from people like Carriage Trade, from Diana at Ad Specialty and legal services, logo development, promos. I mean, a wide range of things. Maria and Michael can speak to that if you wish, because they were recipients, and they did a wonderful job of presenting Core Compost. Guys, you want to share some of your experience?
Sure. Well, first of all, SCORE really helped out in the fact that someone just starting a business and not having any business starting experience prior to that, it really helps you kind of hone in all those things that are necessary to make an actual business, not just a little side project that you're doing. And the services we received have definitely helped out, especially with things such the logo, some of the marketing, as well as the legal services, which we're still using those services now. And the more we learn how much we received in that time period for the event.
Yeah, and I think also the biggest thing is the connection with all of these other local businesses. So just developing that community and having that for the future whenever we need something else, as far as like for instance with Diane with Ad Specialty, with being at the farmers market, everything is about creating more awareness and education, and some of these products and so on can really help increase that awareness.
Yeah.
So we really
Courtney just said that she's doing stuff. We also are now saving our food scraps in a bucket.
Woo!
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, you will never see more beautiful, sweet-smelling soil than what Michael and Maria produce at their location at Bethesda. If you, the process is amazing, and stuff is growing here that never grew before because it's got all the it's amazing. It's beautiful, and so I highly recommend working with them. It's great. And by the way, at the beginning, Michael and Maria were like I think a lot of nonprofits are, it's like almost embarrassed about making money. One of the things we share with our nonprofits, and I know we have several folks here with Catalina, maybe even with Honor, that are not for profits. Here's what we tell them: you can do good, and you can still do well.
That's
so
good.
there's no shame in making a living for yourself and your family by doing good work.
So Michael, tell us about CORE, and then we'll talk to Michael and Maria. In your words,
geez. So first of all, I want to say it was so funny. I think the deadline was midnight on whatever the date was for applications, and I think Maria and Michael submitted their application at what, Maria, about 11:55.
It was, yeah, very last minute.
It was just under the wire. No, they did a wonderful job. They are so dedicated. They started off with a true desire to help people and do good and restore things and recycling and the composting thing. People just don't know enough about it. And they have done an amazing job of spreading the gospel, helping with recovery of things that should not just be thrown out and not gone to landfills. And they do great work. And I'm so pleased to see that they're expanding and growing and adding new equipment. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Michael and Maria. Love them. Wonderful.
So Michael and Maria, if somebody's watching and they want to start recycling, how do your compost, tell us what do we need to do?
Well, there's two ways. If you're a resident and not a business of any sort, at the farmers market, at Forsyth Farmers Market in Savannah, we have a tent up there. We're there every Saturday, and that's it right there, the residential drop-off. So you come up to us, and we offer you a bucket, a lid, and some instructions for $10 one time, and you are able to come up every Saturday, and basically we dump what you have decided to keep out of the landfill into one of our receptacles, and we take that back to the farm, and we compost it using wood chips that would otherwise be stuck in a 10-year a natural composting cycle. So they can take their waste, and in 2 months, we can turn it from a wasted material into an actual resource, which Michael had already said is extremely sweet, dark humus that just teeming with microorganisms. And then if you're on the commercial side, Maria can help you.
Here's my cue. So commercially, and that's actually how we started out, was commercially, because we wanted to try to divert as much as we possibly could. And we figured having those accounts with, especially restaurants, they have a lot of waste. I mean, a typical waste, residential waste even, is 50%, but even for restaurants, that is a lot of food waste. So that was our main target. And then we started last year. We have 13 commercial accounts, and we then added on the farmers market residentially, because we started getting a lot of inquiries for people who wanted to divert, with the smaller households. And we were just trying to think about different ways that we could make this seem feasible for us and for the smaller households as far as that footprint. And that's where we came up with the transfer station at the market, just to make sense of it logistically, but also to kind of create more of that community, because everything is going around making a better community and a better future as far as a regenerative process. And so if we bring people into the market and they just create this routine, you know, they come, shop, and run all of their errands at once. So there's multiple different options, and we're hoping to continue to keep growing. But we have the commercial, residential, and we also highly encourage anybody who can do it in their own backyard as well. So we offer consultations in that means. And we just started 2 weeks ago, our first self-serve station as well, because we're only available on Saturdays for the residential aspect, and sometimes that doesn't work for everybody. So now we have the exact same setup, but you can do it individually. It's accessible like throughout the week, and basically you can weigh your material, record it, and then drop it into this larger receptacle, and then we come by and pick it up every week like we would our commercial accounts.
Oh, cool.
So, super exciting.
That's so cool.
We another aspect, the COVID has really kind of taken the gusto out of this side of what we do, but we also are charged with educating people as well. Before we knew about it, when we thought we knew what compost was, but then we learned more, we realized we knew nothing. And the more you learn in something like this, you start to see where everybody else has forgotten these little pieces as well. And
talk about that, Michael. What have you learned, and what do we need to know, us watching, about compost?
Yeah, so the idea of compost, people think, oh, gardening, all, you know, food, farming, hippies. But in the end, composting is nature's way of getting rid of the forest detritus, the leaves. Forest has been composting since the forest was there, and that's why the forest is there. It's because it's composting. If they were taking their leaves and shipping them to a landfill, there would not be any soil there for those trees to hold on to. It would just be rock. So what we as people need to remember is that all the food we eat, if we continually want to have that, we are responsible for taking what we don't eat and putting it right back into the food system, i.e. growing food with what we aren't eating. The more we just kind of live our life dependent on these petroleum chemicals to grow our food, to fertilize our soil, the less food will grow there, because we are continuously taking from it and never putting anything really back. So what we try to inform, especially the students at schools, because that's where we believe that it's going to really make the differences in the generations to come, because they're going to have the education and they're going to have to do something with all this, what is considered waste now, but wasted resources is all it really is. So with some simple planning, coming to the farmer's market on Saturday, or joining our commercial program if you're a business, or just inquiring with us, and we're more than happy to give out information. You can either join what we're doing, or you can do your own thing, but still do what we're doing.
You know what I find interesting, guys? Lots and lots of people are very, very conscious about recycling, right? We recycle paper, we recycle plastic, cans, etc. But we don't think about recycling, you know, food scraps. And, you know, in the same way that people will take their recycle bins and they'll drive over to Eisenhower or whatever recycling thing, I don't see any difference of driving over to Forsyth Park on Saturday morning and going to this recycle center for your food scraps. It's a good thing to do.
It's easy. And I mean, there things stink a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's done.
Well, and the other good thing too that's like for me who just can't stand grossness is in a indirect way or direct way, your trash cans don't get so nasty anymore, and you don't put them out on the curb and go out there and there's things creepy crawlies everywhere because there's no food in there for anybody. Right. So for me, composting, all that other stuff is great and I love it. But the bonus is it's not disgusting out at the trash can.
We actually we built our own composting. It's huge. And we take, like when I cook and the discard, I have a bucket that I put everything in. And every day I put my compost into the compost bin. It's huge. And we just got our worms. Oh, no. So we're letting our worms work the magic.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
It helps eliminate the smell, and we're going to have some great fertilizer here soon.
Absolutely.
So, do you buy the worms, or I mean?
Well, we ordered ours online. They come a little dehydrated, and then you have to add water. But you're loving life now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The worms will naturally come to the pile at some point, but if you're really wanting to get a lot of worms for vermicomposting, that's specifically for, that decomposition stage, you can order some. And we've done that before. Actually, that's what we did for some of the school educational presentations. It's really cool for kids to see the worms in action. And of course, during the entire presentation, the only point where we got a lot of feedback from the kids was whenever we showed a video clip of worms in action, and it was a time lapse of them breaking down food waste. It was very quick, and like the entire audience just went nuts. They're like, no! We couldn't even get them to settle down. We're like, okay.
Well, I have to confess, I have my studio cats, and I got tired of cat litter. So I went to complete 100% organic cat litter. And so it was recycling, because they obviously, when you compost, a little bit more information than you need to know, but it actually helps the whole garden and fertilizing and taking your food scraps. So we're trying to keep our, environmental footprint as little as possible. So it definitely helps to compost and come up with clever ways to be environmentally conscientious and friendly. So your business sounds phenomenal. And I would think the more residents and the more education outreach that you do, more people are going to really want that service. And so congratulations. That's very innovative.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
So for those of you who want to know, it is now raining like crazy here on Skidaway.
Oh, is it?
Okay.
It just started.
We don't have a drop, not one drop.
I am so glad I don't have to be dragging hoses around the backyard and getting to the hanging plants. And not that I don't love our plants, but thank you, Mother Nature. Appreciate it.
Oh, yeah.
I've been working with the geometry of sprinklers in our front yard, trying to get everything so I don't have to move these hoses around and just set it up and turn it on.
Right.
But inevitably, there's a good triangle that never gets hit.
Right.
And see, I grew up in Northern California and grew up in the 70s and the 80s when we had really bad drought. And I think we get 6 inches of rain a year.
Oh, wow.
And you all get we get 6 inches of rain a day here.
I think it's average of 50 something inches a year.
So to me, I've lived here since 1987, but I've never watered my grass one time, not once. The whole irrigation thing here, I'm like, why? It rains, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've had a strange little drought, it seems like.
2 weeks. Oh.
Yeah. We missed a foot of rain already.
This isn't about rain or anything, but I read a thing recently about, as it relates to weather, and it was out in Los Angeles, Catalina, And in LA, apparently a few years ago, something occurred, and because the way the winds were or whatever, all of a sudden one evening the smog kind of got blown out for a while. And that night, apparently, there was a slew of 911 calls about alien attacks because people had never seen the stars.
That's Los Angeles. So I'm from the northern part of California. I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. And so really we don't count anything south of Bakersfield until you get to San Diego. And so like LA wouldn't even be there if it wasn't for Northern California, because they built this giant California aqueduct that goes from Lake Tahoe all the way down. And that's why they even have water. But yeah, no, I remember that because people were freaking out over, like, there was no smog. Well, even COVID, you know, with everybody shelter in place and the quarantining. I mean, not just in Los Angeles, but all over the world. Like I think I read an article, it was in India, they could actually see the mountains for the first time in decades because the smog had been cut back so much by you know, because people weren't going out. But yeah, LA, it's its own little unique little bubble.
Agreed.
So I mean, the smog lifting during the COVID shelter in place, you know, especially when it was really enforced, shows that we can make a huge difference in
Absolutely.
how much of a difference we're actually making with something as simple as just driving around.
Right. Well, one of the things I think that is very important here that, you know, I love Savannah. I love this region. I love the South. Like I said, I grew up in the San Francisco Bay Area, and my husband has actually been in the recycling industry for his entire life. His family owned a scrapyard here. His grandfather started a scrapyard here 100 years ago, and they, you know, were recycling metals and aluminums and those sorts of things. And then Randy moved on to he went to work for Waste Management and ran the largest transfer station on the West Coast and the most state-of-the-art transfer station in the country. And there, it was sort of like career-wise going off and getting your master's degree in recycling for him, because they recycled everything. Their policy was by, I can't remember the year, it was like 2025 or something like that. They wanted to have a no waste footprint in the Bay Area, and they were recycling paper, plastic, yard waste, construction materials, everything. And so we had an opportunity there. We moved back to California in 2005, stayed there for 10 years, and then came back to Savannah. And now with what he does now, he works with recycled paper. But one of my dream pet projects is, you know, Savannah does have a recycling program, but we're just really barely dipping our toe in, you know, like I feel like if there was more word of mouth and more opportunity for entities, cities, and organizations to learn from things that
she's on the visibility team.
Coming to you from the Department of Press Commercialism, Catalina.
Yeah, selfless plug. That we could, you know, I really, one of my goals here, is to really work to bring forward the message of recycling and why it's important and how it's overall community benefit. And it's not just paper and plastic. And, you know, you can't really do anything with glass anymore, but the more we can keep out of the landfill, the better. So Michael and Maria, what you all are doing with just this, I mean, people don't understand. I know just by scraping my food scraps into my little bucket and then taking it to compost, you don't realize how much food waste you actually have. And in California, you know, the recycling programs there are very, very intense. My garbage can was like a 5-gallon bucket. And that's all I really had very little trash, because there they give you a bucket for everything and they come pick everything up at all different times. But if you look at what's really the trash part, most of what we use in our households can be recycled in one way or another. So, I would love to see Savannah get on board a little more and, work to promote the idea for sure.
Kat, did you ever see the bumper sticker? It says Savannah recycles ?
Yeah.
I just wanted to add, it's kind of interesting that you're talking about composting and recycling and the value of it. One of the programs that the Heart Initiative is working on is called the TENT program. There is no trash, but it's really for artists to be able to utilize discarded goods and retask, remake, rethink, and re-innovate materials to make them not only into usable resources like a broken door that gets converted into a table. I mean, these are futuristic projects, but I'm a mixed media artist, and I often have been known to pick up garbage on the side of the road, and the next thing you know, it becomes a part of my artwork.
We call it junkin'. Junkin'.
My mom does that.
Is my friend, and a lot of my artwork, Goodwill, thrift stores, anything, garage sales. So even broken china. My studio. One day, I may be brave enough to let you see my studio full of broken, discarded goods. But sometimes,
Can you move your computer? Can we see it?
oh well, no, my studio is downstairs. And
Honor, do you have? I don't see. Usually, you have that mosaic in the background, and I don't see it.
It's so funny. I'm a little embarrassed. If you want to see, this is actually not to digress on. I'm actually a photographer, a metalsmith. I do jewelry making, and I make small sculptures. But Catalina's referring to here. I'll just get it.
Yes,
I need to repair it, and I'm a little embarrassed by it. But it's
I love live broadcasts.
my photography, and I'm so embarrassed that I wadded it up, but I've got to fix it. I did a whole maiden series, an homage to fairy tales, myths, and legends. And if you look closely to the bark has my photography of the maidens composed in the bark. Can you see it?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
It's
Very cool. Very cool.
Georgia Southern has some of my original artwork, my photography. I have a whole series where I took Lady of the Lake and Lady Victory, and I wanted to play tribute to women in history and women who really, Joan of Arc. So I did all these beautiful vignettes and different costumes that I created and took all these pictures, and then I actually on the pictures that were left over, I shredded them to create this into the woods, into this forest. So that was an example of gouache, acrylic, illustration. I wish I had another time. I'll show you where I take broken pieces of china and metal that's discarded, and all of a sudden it becomes a sword. I don't have that in my office here, but thank you for allowing me to show that. But these are the type of integrative storytelling and expressions that we want to encourage and foster the artist within all of us, the ability to create. So Einstein said creativity is more important than knowledge. And I believe what he meant by that is we can all read books and learn the textbook, what meaning behind it, but what you take with that knowledge of understanding and that body of work and how you apply it to create, innovate, and critical thinking skills. A lot of artists, that's what we do. And we try to foster change in that narrative voice. And we hope to really be able to take nonprofits like the Compost nonprofit to bring awareness and have the artist create media and artistic expression to fundraise and develop awareness through posters and artwork to auction that bring awareness to other nonprofits to help fundraise and develop their needs. So I'm sure Michael and Maria, I will be contacting you on many different initiatives. That's why we are the Heart Initiative. And again, Anna Lutz is another art friend of mine who we want to bring awareness to autism. My mother suffers from rheumatoid arthritis, and it's been so hard this last month. She's essentially paralyzed and bedridden. I didn't realize the adverse effects that rheumatoid arthritis impact. So as an artist, I really want to get that word out there. And as Catalina knows through all her brilliant branding and public relations, and Marjorie knows, when you take a cause marketing relationship and you bring artists to help bring awareness to that, there's a way to bring the community together. That small businesses then are, they have a platform to create public relation awareness for them. And so as everyone works together to collaborate in these initiatives, we make for a better community. And that's really what we're at the core of, trying to build and serve the community and the needs of that community, and bring the nonprofits and small businesses together through the heart initiatives, heal through the power of art, hire artists, and make for a better community of engagement.
Hey, Honor. I do a lot of photography, and I must say I have a lot of things you can shred.
Well, we need to feature your photography on our website. That's another thing. We're kind of free, and I'm a volunteer. My collaborative partners are volunteers. But what we do is we promote artists. So if you're selling your artwork or want to promote the beauty of Savannah, Marjorie has artwork. We all are going to have a children's center also. We want to put as much local artists and where to go, what to do, what kind of art, music, dance, song, sculpting, ceramics. But we want to diversify our art and diversify our narrative as well, and really promote what to do and what's going on online right now with COVID. So everyone can just click on Heart, and there's tons of educational outreach and tutorial guides for them to use. And so, Marjorie, you want to get on there and do some acrylic classes?
No, I'm not trained in that. I know. Do you know Haley Collins?
That name sounds familiar. Is she a local artist that teaches?
She's in Savannah. Yeah.
Right.
Her name was Haley Howard, and she does. I just love her artwork too. So actually, Liz, behind the scenes, if you could tag Haley Collins on the scroll, that would be great. I
would love that. So any artist, I mean, I've got artists in New York, I've got artists in Dallas, Texas that I'll be doing press releases and featuring them and what they're doing, because I have an artist living in a desert that's starting out in Tucson. He's got this whole ecosystem of recycling, not only of his artwork, but he's creating a community of artists. And so that's just a little teaser of what we'll be featuring. And again, Michael and Maria Whittam, I will be letting you know. We can tie it into the local messaging of what they're doing, building communities literally out of recycled goods, and a whole ecosystem in its own self. But I do want to just say, I created some poppy cards for the Heart initiatives that are for sale. Again, it's to raise money and awareness for the Heart initiative. I can't get the focus to come in. Can you get it?
Yep, it's there now.
Proceeds benefit the Heart initiative. I think I gave Catalina one of my original ones, but these are actually 8.5 by 11.
Oh my!
And these cards, I made these cards to fundraise for the Heart initiative, and so
I have that one right there. That one, and I framed it. Yes, and I framed it.
Oh, can you buy them online, Honor? Can you buy them online? Can you buy those?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. We still have our landing page, and I apologize for that. I went to take care of my mom for a month, and but so we have our landing page at the heartinit.org. You can email me at honor@heartinit.org. Thank you for doing that. And so the cards, you get 10 cards for $8. And you know, again, Anna Lutz has donated. I have one of her paintings here. I just love it. And what I love about this, as we all know, Anna is a ray of sunshine. Her whole family.
Oh my.
She's going to help. Is it crooked? Oh, it must be my camera. That's crooked. But she's all about love, hope, kindness. And I felt this painting really embodied and signifies what the Heart Initiative is all about. And so Anna has donated about 5 paintings. And I have some other paintings with other artists that are donating to some of our online fundraisers that we will be doing. And we will be correlating those online fundraisers for cause marketing relationships, like hopefully the Reardon Center and autism. We'd really like to do something with them. And Anna as our spokesperson, and she has agreed to kind of be an auxiliary on our auxiliary advisory board and help me with that. And I talked to Catalina about it, and she was real excited about it. We sat in Anne's garden, which is just to die for. But so we're really hoping to do a lot of good for the community of Savannah and some of our initiatives.
I have not heard of any company doing that. Is there anybody else doing that?
I don't think so. I haven't seen it. Not yet. Not here.
Well, yeah. I've invited Catalina to work with me on some of this, so hopefully you'll be seeing a lot more of it. And as soon as we write press releases, we'll be tagging you immediately, Marjorie. And again, we're growing organically. I mean, we started 2.5 months ago.
Word of mouth. It's all word of mouth. Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Gosh.
So word of mouth. Speaking of word of mouth, we all have. I'm sorry, Marjorie, but you won't say anything about yourself, so I'm going to say it for you. So the last show that we had last week, Marjorie announced that her book had finally been published, and we were chatting about how this is such a great tool for small business. How word of mouth is actually the number one way to promote your business. And it happened to be the day that her book came out. We were talking about all this. So I went online and ordered one, and I got mine in the mail on Saturday.
I have to tell you a story behind that.
Reputation. Wait a minute. There we go. Marjorie Young, Reputation Matrix.
And do you know why? I called it Reputation. I mean, I've had the Matrix for years.
Right.
I met with Michael with SCORE when the name of the book was Building Word of Mouth, and he said it needs to be Reputation Matrix. Mm-hmm. It's the name of the method that I use, and I changed it. I'm so glad I did. People love the name of it, and the cover was designed by Longwater and Associate, Longwater and Company. They did the book. I had never done a book. I won't do another book. Actually.
I bet you will eventually. Well, and like I had some friends that we were on my personal Facebook page over the weekend. I had put out there that I got my book, and I was talking about, if you're a nonprofit, if you are a small business, if you're a large business, especially for the nonprofit sector. I like this a lot for the nonprofit sector, really, because nonprofits traditionally, we don't have a budget for anything. We don't have a budget for PR. We don't have a budget for marketing, and small business alone, you're really working to get your products and your ideas out there. And a lot of people just don't know what to do. And so like this book, the first part of the book is, why does word of mouth matter? And Marjorie tells the story, the lessons learned from her family business in crisis. She introduces you to the Reputation Matrix. She gives you this is a very valuable tool. She gives you 12 assessment questions for your business or nonprofit. That allow you to really work towards building a solid foundation. And then, in the second part of the book, it's the power of the Reputation Matrix and how that works and how to create an annual PR strategy. All the different things that you can do to establish yourself as an authority. Sustaining the world with the word of mouth is part 3. And I always think about that commercial, that old shampoo commercial where they go, and they told 2 friends, and they told 2 friends, and that's exactly what word of mouth is. And nothing. The epilogue says nothing ventured, nothing gained. So Marjorie and I had the opportunity to go up to Chicago in September, and we had a national nonprofit that I'm involved with, Communities and Schools, brought in about 280 affiliates from across the country. And we taught, 5 strategies to increase your brand to this nonprofit group in September. And that is basically, it's this book.
It's that, Kat,
So-
what people don't realize is, and I wrote it specifically for small business, because when you're just getting started, they can't afford $1,000 to $10,000 a month for a PR campaign. So this book is how to do it, how to sit down and create your year-long plan and implement it.
Yeah, a great example. We needed to get our driveway redone last year, and we got a lot of bids, and we finally selected Southern Pavers, and they are like a 3rd generation. They do not advertise.
It's word of mouth.
Everything is word of mouth. Everybody goes and sees what they've already done. They talk to their clients, and they don't spend a dime on advertising. It's perfect what you're saying.
Michael, small business owners do not realize there is a strategy to build word of mouth, and this matrix will walk you through it. I mean, I love the quote that is on the back of my book. I had Melissa Gracious do it, and I included it. She said, I didn't realize that you can control the word of mouth. And this matrix.
I'm going to read it. It
Yeah.
says, the quote from Melissa says, the reputation matrix method turns small business marketing on its head. I am a small business owner. I thought word of mouth marketing was outside of my control. Marjorie Young's book empowered me to transform word of mouth into an active marketing practice I cultivate rather than something I just cross my fingers and hope to receive. This is a real game changer. So, I mean, being in nonprofit, I've been in nonprofit in Savannah for about 18, 19 years now, and had the pleasure of working with some really big ones, had the pleasure of working from some really small ones. And in 2016, the board of Communities and Schools of Savannah came to me and said, look, we've been here 25 years. The organization was about to die. And, it's a phenomenal program, and we really want to bring it back into the community and have people know what we do. I was basically handed a cardboard box with the federal ID on a Post-it note and $7,000 in the bank. And they said, here, have a great time. This organization had been around for 25 years. They had some programs, and people kind of, old school Savannah kind of knew the Burger King Academy or the Corporate Academy. They knew what that was, but they didn't know what Communities and Schools was. I went directly to Marjorie. We used to do these walk and talks around Isle of Hope. We sat and met and talked. She came in and sat and met and talked with our board. We specifically talked about this reputation matrix. I used this strategy. It was my Bible, and we turned that into about $500,000 of earned media in a year's time, and went from $7,000 in the bank to about a $300,000 a year budget.
Great.
And people coming up to me, to my board members, saying, we didn't even know this was I'd never even heard of this organization until you guys all kind of took this on. And so, I mean, if you're in nonprofit in Savannah, there's almost more nonprofits here than people.
But I'd like to mention. I'm sorry.
But you also know, if you're going to, people will not donate to your cause unless they know your story. And to know your story, people have to communicate. It's word of mouth. And in Savannah, you have to be the thing to do. And to be the thing to do, that means people have to be talking about you. And we used this strategy, and it completely turned the organization around. So I'd
like to excuse me. I'm sorry. I'd like to mention that at SCORE, where we do business mentoring, and it's all free. It's always free. We have 4 senior mentors who are not-for-profit experts. They have been in the not-for-profit world their entire careers. We're just finishing up a 5-part webinar series specifically geared to not-for-profit leadership, trying to help them through this the time of COVID. And it's everything from fundraising to how to do the strategy to re-engaging your members and on and on and on. It's just a great group of people. And I love one of the slides that we have in the PowerPoint says, COVID can't stop good. And, you know, all small businesses are getting hammered. But not-for-profits even more so than almost anybody else. You know, the expenses are still there, and a lot of the revenue sources, a lot of the donations are drying up. So to what Catalina and Marjorie are saying, you really have to find creative ways to redefine your core mission, make sure you're not doing extraneous stuff, and then get out there in the community. People are still out there who want to help donate to great causes, and you have to be the one to get on their radar and enter their checkbooks. And I say that not facetiously, because it's a matter of survival with a lot of these organizations. And folks, I think, sometimes forget it's not just about the organization being in trouble. They can't provide the incredible, important services that these organizations provide to the community. So if they go away, it's a domino effect of all the negative impact of not-for-profits not being able to do what they do. And so we're happy to provide these free mentoring services for any not-for-profit that can use some assistance.
So let's go around the room and wrap up and just say, okay, so Michael and Maria and Honor, how can people get in touch with you? What's your website and what are you offering in just a sentence? So Michael.
Okay. Yeah, happy to do it. Savannah SCORE is one of 300 SCORE chapters around the country. 10,000 plus volunteers, all experts in business, entrepreneurs, business owners. We have 40 certified mentors here in our Savannah chapter. We were named a 2019 Chapter of the Year for Mid-Market Chapters. Very proud of our team for that. And we do a lot of education. We do free mentoring and we do education. All of our education right now is free. The last installment of our not-for-profit series is Friday the 7th. We then have 2 webinars on the 8th and the 15th from our Business Launchpad series that's covering how to do an effective business plan, demystifying financial management, and digital marketing and social media. We also, you might be interested, August 22nd, we have a speed mentoring for women in business event. We are really focused on helping women in business and also minorities. We have a great new partnership with the newly energized Blacks Chamber of Commerce and Savannah Technical College. Wonderful stuff. And we're doing business training for folks. And the women's event is going to allow the attendees to get the benefit of the knowledge and expertise of 10 women experts in business. So I may be the only testosterone in the room. And I'm only going to say a couple words at the beginning. So it's a wonderful thing. We'll start promoting it very soon. We're finishing up the registration. And sorry about that. We're finishing up the registration, and it'll be coming out shortly, and you can link and get involved. Sorry about that.
I do talk about SCORE a lot in my book because they were so important in helping to turn my father's company around.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Last year we helped establish 133 new local businesses and 366 new non-owner jobs. And you know that's why we're here. That's why we're trying to give back. We want to.
Is a vital role in this COVID. And if you are a small business owner or a nonprofit watching, it's free. Reach out to Michael at SCORE and
yeah, and it's Savannah. It's savannah.score.org, and right there you can click on Find a Mentor, and you can actually scroll down and see a lot of the pictures of our mentors and what their background is. or you can do a keyword search and find folks that'll meet your needs. But it's simple as that, and we'd love to see you.
Absolutely. So thank you, Michael. Honor. Let's get you. Hold on a second. I gotta figure out how to get this off the screen here. Well, let's do this right now.
You can leave it there. It's okay, Margaret.
Yeah, it is okay. So, people, give us a quick rundown of what.
The quick rundown is where the Heart Initiative, when we hire artists to teach instructional classes to meet the needs of the community and fill those gaps that aren't being served on all the different disciplines of art curriculum. We are also a resource center of information, a resource hub, where we'll be having like an art library of information for people to pull from. And in addition, we create multitudes of programs that help heal through the power of art to explore your inner creative self through art exploration. So Heart Initiative, you can contact me, honor@heartinit.org, or go to our landing page right now, which is there you go, heartinit.org. And pretty soon we'll have our website up and running. We've been working on it diligently for about 2 weeks now. And we invite all artists and volunteers to contact me, because I need more instructors, I need more art programs, and I need someone to help me write all these press releases and articles that we've started to get the word out to educate and inform.
Awesome. Absolutely.
Anybody that can help you do that.
Anybody.
Anybody that can help
Yeah,
you.
it's this little startup called Carriage Trade or something like that.
Yeah, no idea.
We're going to be blowing up all these phones.
Awesome.
It's only I do people.
Honor, thank you so much for being on. And so Michael and Maria, let's do a recap.
So I'm not sure if we mentioned this yet, but our actual full business name is Code of Return, short for CORE. So if you want to look into reaching out to us and figuring out how you can get onto this environmental movement and making a difference with your individual footprint, please check us out at corecompost.com, or our direct email is contact@corecompost. So everything about, we're very passionate about this cause. And if you really want to talk to us individually, we're at the Forsyth Farmers Market every Saturday, and we're there for 4 hours. So please come, and, we have people come and talk to us about every specific thing. If they're composting, like, what about this? And what about this? And we love it. That is everything that, Code of Return, it embodies everything that we are as far as trying to make a difference and having this regenerative movement. So,
Gosh, what a cool combination of everybody this morning. This was, I just love how there's so many connections made too every time we get folks on this show every week. So, wow, Honor, I hope you definitely connect with SCORE and even look into BizPitch, since you're a new company. I mean, there's a lot of possibilities here. So
that's awesome. Thank you.
We'll start promoting that in the next month or monthish, because it's November. So we'll start getting things going in earnest probably in about 30 days.
But those webinars that you said, I mean, I've been in the industry a long time, but there's always things to learn every day.
Yeah.
Is it on your website?
Yeah, if you go to the website and it says something like attend a webinar or take a webinar or something like that, and you go to that page, you can scroll down and the registration links are there. I would definitely recommend the next 2 Saturdays. There's 2 modules. It's 2 hours each Saturday. The 8th, like I said, is business plan and demystifying financial management. And then the next week is digital marketing and social media.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hope to see you.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah. The stats saying that if you have a mentor, you are going to make more money. So why wouldn't all of us have mentors? I've been with SCORE for years. I've been with SBDC for 25 years. I mean, you will always learn something having a mentor around. always.
Absolutely.
So,
Every
well,
day.
we've the community of small businesses and just the community of where you're working has really become part of the mentorship for us as well. SCORE has been there to help us out, but also our other, the people we're working with, our clients on the commercial end of the composting, as well as other small businesses that we just know people. They're always mentoring us and telling us to get out of our comfort zone or to push an idea that we had or change an idea because it's not working.
Nothing
That
gained.
community.
Yeah, and I'd like to make a plug, if I may, for it. We have this amazing small business community, like Michael was saying, and we're very active with Buy Local, fabulous organization. Courtney Rawlins is now the president. She is so dedicated to this, and Caleb did a great job when he was. Also, there's SODA, SODA, which is the South of Duran Avenue group. And they're not all south of Duran. Get about 50, 60 people I think it's the second Wednesday of every month at Barnes. You go and you pay your $15 for lunch, and you get to network with an incredible group of small businesses. And then on the other side, we have the Savannah Downtown Business Association.
Right.
And that's where you will meet not just small businesses, but up to some of the big movers and shakers in town. And it's also an incredible group of people. So there's some excellent networking opportunities to capitalize on what Michael was talking about, just making connections, making friends, and talking to each other.
Word of mouth.
There you go.
I know everybody needs to get off, but I'm seriously just opening this for the first time.
That's hilarious. That's awesome.
When I get mine, Marjorie, I'm going to bring it over so you can autograph it.
Oh my gosh.
Very exciting.
I'm
Very
so
exciting.
proud of you.
Yeah, wonderful.
This has been a long time in coming. I can't even tell you how long it's taken. Here's what the matrix looks like.
That's so awesome.
That's what I teach in this book, how to get different types of word of mouth around the community. Yeah, and on September 9th, which is my birthday, I'm going to have an online birthday party under my Facebook page. And it's also going to be the release of the book and my 25th anniversary. So
That's fabulous.
And Marjorie, aren't you hosting another State of Small Business in Chatham County forum this year?
December 8th.
December 8th.
Yeah. We can talk about that.
Always informative, always a great forum.
Yeah, that'll also be on live online using this StreamYard. My heart is beating so fast having this in my hand.
And by the way, when Marjorie started writing this book, I actually had hair. So there you go.
It has taken so long.
Wonderful, Marjorie. Great.
Hard work paid off.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, the whole goal, I didn't even want to charge for it. And everyone's like, you have to charge for it. I just want to get this in the hands of every small business owner because it will move the needle.
Yeah, we need to get a supply of those over at SCORE. And maybe we can do something where we can provide it to our mentors just to be sure that they're aware of how powerful this is as they work with our clients.
92% of new business and referrals comes from word of mouth. Why aren't people using a strategy?
Yeah. Agreed. Wonderful.
All right, guys.
Order yours now on Amazon. Order yours now on Amazon. Everybody watching.
It's coming. Yeah, I got it.
I ordered that link again.
Oh my gosh. All right, guys. So I've got to figure out how to end the broadcast here.
Nice to meet everybody. And thank you so
Same
much
here.
for
We'll see you. I'm in the studio now. See you soon. Bye.